slip of the pick and roll, gets in, they land on top of each other, and he's just stepping over. Now that right there, yeah, that's a kick. He's gone.
Yep.
He's gone.
For stepping over Embiid. Flagrant foul penalty 1 on Embiid.
Keep going.
Joe, that moment with Claxton early in the game, were you worried we were going to get thrown out of the game at that point?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Nick, I'm not sure if you have the words just yet, but take me through the first technical in that first quarter when you got kicked.
And then I stepped over him, kicked me, and thought he was going to be kicked out of the game, but, said it was a flagrant one, so it is what it is. It's not my job to referee.
Shock, going off that first tech, what did you make of how that all ended with Nick getting the tech and Embiid staying in the game?
I don't think I've ever seen that in my career before, Alex. For a guy to intentionally kick someone in an area that none of us want to be kicked at or towards, and for him to continue to play. I've never seen that before. In a game, and a guy continues to be able to play. Intentional.
Do you remember the play where he got thrown out?
Yes.
Put it all on the line. Only going up, ain't no room for the climb.
What is up, Best Ones Worldwide? It's the Best One, DBTV here, back with a brand new video. If you're not a Best One yet already and you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, recommend you to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications, because of course you already know the grind is real. And I just got done watching Game 3, and in case you guys don't know, I'm currently taking a break from content creating, but I figured I'd make this video because I just got done watching an epic Game 3, Brooklyn Nets versus Philadelphia 76ers, and Philadelphia is leading the series 3-0. And in my predictions video, I did have Philadelphia winning in 5, but it might actually be a clean sweep now, unfortunately. And I have a lot of things I need to get off my chest about this game, because I've been, on, Nets Twitter, and everybody seems to want to blame Royce O'Neal for this loss, and he's the last person I'm blaming for this fucking loss, alright? Let's be real. Din Shitty is the reason why we lost that fucking game tonight. Alright, the last 4 minutes, Din Shitty wanted to be the friggin' hero. He was friggin' taking the stupidest shots possible. Why are you gonna take a contested shot? Why are you going to drive in for a layup when Embiid is still in this game? And I can't wait to fucking rant about Embiid. But why would you freaking go into the paint just to get swatted by Embiid? Din Shitty. You're supposed to be the point guard. The point guard's job is supposed to be the quarterback. You are supposed to be spreading the ball out. And why the fuck is Mikal Bridges not touching the ball towards the end of the game? He should be the one with the ball. He's the hot player. And it's crazy. We see Cam Thomas finally gets some minutes. The man plays for a little bit. Next thing you know, fucking he's out. He doesn't really play that much in the second half. Instead, they decide to fucking give the ball to Joe Harris, who, don't get me wrong, I've loved Joe Harris's game, but let's be real, when it comes to the playoffs, Joe Harris does not fucking show up. He cost us that freaking game against Milwaukee a couple years ago. I have not forgot that. And it's disappointing. It really is disappointing. And then the fact that... oh, my God. And the fact that Nicholas Claxton gets 2 technical fouls and gets himself out of the game. And James Harden gets himself out of the game for a little elbow shot. And you guys know how I feel about James Harden, but I'm going to call it like it is. Harden probably shouldn't have been ejected for that. But then Joel Embiid gets away with kicking Nicholas Claxton in the nuts. If the NBA does not suspend Joel Embiid for Game 4, then whatever happened in Sacramento and Golden State is irrelevant. It's not fair to Draymond Green for being suspended then, because you're pretty much telling these NBA players that it's okay to kick somebody right in the privates. pretty much. And don't get me wrong, I think, the whole Sabonis, Draymond Green drama, I do think that Draymond Green should be, suspended for, pretty much kicking him in the friggin' chest. Like, you can't be doing that to another player. That can, cause serious issues. That's where, the heart is. And, some serious things can happen there. And that was absolutely uncalled for. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But I'm sorry, but, if you're going to suspend Draymond for, stomping somebody in the chest, and you're not going to eject Joel Embiid for purposely kicking Nicholas Claxton in the nuts, then clearly there's something going on here. And that's why I think the Brooklyn Nets didn't win this game, to be truthful with you, because if Joel Embiid got ejected from doing that, Nicholas Claxton would have never got his second technical foul, so he would have never been kicked out of the game. Didn't shitty, probably would have still been shitty. James Harden, who knows what would happen. He probably wouldn't have gotten ejected. But I do think that, the Brooklyn Nets could have easily gotten this win if Joel Embiid was ejected, which he should have been. And it's absolutely crazy because even though, Draymond's on the Golden State Warriors, one of the most popular teams in the NBA, if Draymond Green kicked Nicholas Claxton in the nuts, he probably would have gotten away with it. But if he kicked, let's say Joel Embiid kicked LeBron James in the nuts, or Steph Curry, or a top 10 superstar in the NBA, Giannis, there's the perfect example, Giannis. He kicks Giannis in the nuts. Guarantee you, Joel Embiid gets a flagrant 2 and he gets suspended for a game. Guarantee you. But because it's Nicholas Claxton, because it's the Brooklyn Nets, because Embiid's the MVP, that's the reason why he got away with it. And it's absolutely crazy to me that these referees fucking suck tonight. And I really hope going into next season, the NBA does something about these referees because it's getting out of hand. Alright, these referees pretty much are fucking calling flagrants, kicking people out of the games for the stupidest shit. Why can't players taunt and have fun? I don't understand. Back in the 90s, back in the early 2000s, you were able to do that shit. AI was able to walk over that person and not even get a flagrant. Absolutely crazy. We used to have a lot of NBA fights, and they would not get kicked out of games, but nowadays people get kicked out of games. Things need to change with the officiating, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's even coming from, a non-biased standard here, because in Philadelphia, even with Philadelphia, some of the calls that have been happening throughout this series haven't been fair for them, and it sure as hell hasn't been fair for the Brooklyn Nets. And a lot of that has to do with the poor officiating. And Tyrese Maxey, there's nothing I can really say about him, as, a Brooklyn Nets fan. The man has been cooking us. And even in my predictions video, I even said that Tyrese Maxey was going to go off in this series, and he was going to be the difference maker for Philadelphia. I knew James Harden wasn't going to do that good in the series. And Embiid, of course, was going to, body everybody, which is what he's been doing. I love what Embiid brings to Philadelphia. I like his game, but I don't like the dirty play. I don't like what he did to Claxton, kicking him in the nuts. That was absolutely uncalled for. And if you're going to suspend Draymond and you're going to, do that, then, you need to do the same for Joel Embiid. But we already know what's going to happen, realistically. The NBA is just going to give him a slap on the wrist, probably a $10,000 fine, and that's it, because he's the MVP for this season in the NBA, which means he's one of the golden boys in the NBA, and when the NBA has a top 10 player, they will do whatever they gotta do to, keep them on TV because they bring ratings. Let's be real. But that's a wrap for the Brooklyn Nets. I knew we weren't going to win this series. I wish I had more hope for this team, but gotta call it like it is, guys. This team, we traded 2 of our superstars, and, Kyrie and, Kevin Durant. And of course, this team's not going to really go far because we made a lot of moves. Our whole starting lineup, pretty much, I think 4 of the 5 starters in our lineup are new players that are on this team due to the NBA trade deadline. they have a lot of, time that they need to get on the court together. They need to, build that team chemistry, and it's not going to happen overnight, which is why I knew the Philadelphia 76ers were going to win this series. I just knew it, and I'm glad I didn't get my hopes up, because last year I got my hopes up thinking that we were going to beat the Celtics. We ended up getting swept, which I think fucking what happened last year was more embarrassing than what's happening right now, because tonight we should have fucking won that game. We should have won that game. Embiid should have been ejected from that game. And if you're a Philadelphia fan, I'm sure there's some Philadelphia fans watching this. You know for damn sure that Embiid should have been ejected. And if you're a Philadelphia fan and you can admit that, I respect the fuck out of you. Absolutely respect the fuck out of you if you can admit that Embiid should have been ejected for that. But I don't know. I know, the TNT crew, I know Chuck was saying how that the kick was a lot worse than the whole Draymond situation, but that can be very debatable, and I'm not going to open up those can of worms. But that's a wrap for the Brooklyn Nets season. It's time to go to Cancun and, get back in that facility. We need to, get Cam Johnson back on this team. We need to get rid of Din Shitty, let him fucking go shit on another team, because I'm just over the whole fucking hero ball thing with him. I loved what he was bringing to this team in 2019, but now the man's trying to be Superman out there when he shouldn't be. If there's anybody that should be fucking Superman out there besides Mikal Bridges, it's Cam Thomas, all right? Let's be real. And it's not even looking good for us with Cam Thomas, because I guarantee you when, the series is over, when we go into the offseason, Cam Thomas is going to want out of Brooklyn because our friggin' coach can't even friggin' play him. Doesn't even know how to use him. So we're about to lose one of our bright young players to a whole nother team, probably for a bag of fucking chips. There's going to be a lot of rebuilding in Brooklyn. This is not going to happen over one season. We're not going to be getting any superstars. We're not going to be getting any big free agents. Let's be real. What the owner and all this stuff happened, nobody's going to want to come play for us. Let's just call it like it is. Mikal Bridges, though, he is that guy, and I hope that we build around him. But that's a wrap for this season. Won't be surprised on Saturday if Philadelphia just closes the series off. I think it's for the best. And we'll have to wait and see. Philly versus Celtics. I think that's going to be a very interesting series. But let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on the whole Embiid flagrant foul thing. Do you think that the referees, should have kept him in the game still, or should he be, having more consequences for what happened? Let me know in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this rant, me just pissing on, Din Shitty and the Brooklyn Nets right now, please smash that like button. One like equals one prayer. If you're not the best one yet already and you're a Brooklyn Nets fan, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, because next week I do come back from my break from content creating, and I just did my whole DBTV set over, and I'm ready to give you guys some of the best content this off-season. The link's down in the description below. You can go follow me on my social medias and other YouTube pages, all that down below. If you guys want to go check out my wrestling channel, you can go subscribe to We Are Wrestling. If you want to go check out my personal channel, Best One Donnie, you can go subscribe over there. All the links down below. And, of course, to all the best ones out there, to all the Brooklyn Nets Nation out there, unfortunately, we got a lot of work to do, but we still go hard. Peace.
I hope you're ready for the comeback. Steve Nash, I'm about to bring the sun back.